Hello my dear children, welcome to my channel Sudhir Sir Chemistry. But as we are discussing the reaction mechanism and in previous section we completed about halogenation of alkane where we have seen chlorination. That means we have discussed about the addition of chlorine in the alkane. Whatever the process or the mechanism we have seen for the chlorination, the same thing will be applicable for the bromination. And in the last part, I told you better, addition of fluorine, that is a fluorination, is a highly explosive reaction, and that reaction cannot be performed in the lab. So now we can go with another one. That means now the fourth part will be, that is a iodination, means addition of iodine to the alkane. And I told you better, addition of iodine to the alkane is also the reversible reaction. Reaction never goes to the forward direction. So today's class I want to discuss about here, that is the iodination of the alkane beta. So we are going to discuss here called as a iodination, means addition of iodine to the alkane. This is a part called as a iodination, means addition of iodine. But this process is a reversible process. Why it is a reversible process? I will show you it here. Suppose if this is the alkane and if you are adding the iodine on it, CH4, and we are adding the iodine on it, but by addition of iodine, what it forms? Same, in presence of HNO, sunlight, reaction will move forward and it will form CH3I plus it also form here as a HI. But as we know that HI, which is obtained here, that is a strong reducing agent. If you don't know, please remember HI will act as a strong reducing agent. But as it acts as a strong reducing agent, it reduces CH3I back to the CH4 and reaction will goes backward direction. Hence we can say beta, addition of iodine to the alkane is a reversible reaction. Sir, why it is a reversible? Due to the formation of what? Strong reducing agent HI. Because as soon as it forms the strong reducing agent, it reduces methyl iodide back to the methane, right? Now, if you want to make this reaction to go only on forward directions, we have to add here as a strong oxidizing agent. What is that? So we can add HNO3 and HiO3, that is a strong oxidizing agent. So now the same reaction I want to write, this is a methane in presence of HiO3 and HNO3, which act as a what beta? Which act as a strong oxidizing agent, and now your reaction never comes backward, it goes only on forward, and where we got CH3I plus HI. Now question is that, sir, how we know this HiO3 and HNO3, how this will be acting as an oxidizing agent and how it will be goes only on the forward direction? Because this HiO3 and HNO3 which is obtained here beta, it will consume or it will react with the HI which is obtained here. How? I will show you beta. Whatever the HI was obtained, just I want to show you this reaction in the bracket. Whatever the HI which is obtained here, that HI is combining with the HiO3 and HNO3, because you know when this HiO3 and HNO3 is there, they have a tendency to provide the nascent oxygen. HiO3 and HNO3, they provide nascent oxygen. If you want, I will write here. These HiO3, HiO3 and what are these HNO3, they react together and they provide nascent oxygen. But as soon as they provide nascent oxygen, they combine with the HI obtained here, and what it forms? It forms H2O. Remaining is what? I2 will form here. Means what is the important thing we have to see? But whatever the HI obtained here in the process, we have to consume it. How it can be consumed beta? By combining with a strong oxidizing agent like a HiO3 and HNO3, and it forms the iodine. Now by adding this strong oxidizing agent, reaction moves forward and we got the HI. In exams, beta IIT mains exam, any exam, they are asking this question. Addition of iodine to the alkane is a reversible or irreversible? Sir, by seeing this one we can say it is a irreversible. Why it is irreversible, sir? Due to the formation of a strong reducing agent like HI. but as it forms the HI, strong reducing agent, it will reduce a CH3I back to the CH4. So to make the reaction to go only on forward direction, what we have to do? We have to take out the HI which is obtained here. So how we can take out the HI which is obtained here, beta? That means it can be combining with a strong oxidizing agent like HiO3 and HNO3, because they together will provide nascent oxygen, and this nascent oxygen which is obtained here will combine with the HI and form H2O and I2. Hence the reaction goes only on forward direction. Please see beta once. But in this one, now we will see the mechanism of these reactions. What is the mechanism here? So mechanism, it will also occur in the 3-step. Actually, first one will be called as a what? Chain initiation step, beta. In the chain initiation step, whatever the iodine we took here, see beta, this iodine in presence of sunlight, it formed here as a radical, I radical plus I radical. It is the first step. Second step, we'll have the chain propagation, and we know that beta chain propagation step which is obtained here, what is that? Ki whatever the methane is there, methane, but I want to write the methane in this way, and now I radical will attack over it. As it will attack over it, it will have the homolytic cleavage, and again what it forms? Sir, it forms CH3 radical, right beta? And this H radical, I radical, it will form here as a HI. Now beta, this obtained CH3 radical, again it combined with the iodine, where it occurs homolytic cleavage. I radical attack with CH3 radical, and it formed beta CH3I plus again I radical. See, I radical. This will attack here, it goes back. The reaction will be repeatedly it formed. Now the last step will be a chain termination reactions. Actually, chain terminations here, but in this case, propagation takes place, and when the propagation takes place, it forms this, all the radicals are here, and you know beta, CH3I which is obtained here, CH3 radical and I radical which is obtained here, it was reduces by HI, because HI will act as a strong reducing agent. So we should take out the HI. But how the HI should be taken out from the reaction vessel? By adding a strong oxidizing agent like HiO3 and HNO3, which will provide the nascent oxygen. Nascent oxygen combined with HI, and it forms H2O plus I2. Now, termination may, in this process or in this mechanism, whatever the radicals are there, take out. So I am having I radicals, I am having CH3 radicals. So what happened, you know, I radical combined with the I radical, and it form iodine. CH3 radical combined with CH3 radical, but it form ethane, and one more. These two radicals can combine to each other. That is, I radical can combine with CH3 radical, and what it form, beta? It forms CH3I. See beta, in this one we are getting here as a CH3I plus HI. I got the CH3I, but HI won't be there. Why? Because HI was consumed by the strong oxidizing agent like HiO3 and HNO3, which will be converted into what? H2O plus I2. So beta, this is the mechanism says that. Means how the methane combined with the iodine in presence of strong oxidizing agent will give CH3I HI. Now to show these steps, I should go with the mechanism in the 3 steps: initiation, formation of iodine radical; propagation, formation of CH3 radical and I radical; and termination, beta. In this process, wherever the I radical you are able to get, what are the radicals we are getting? I radicals I wrote, CH3 radicals we wrote. They both combine with each other and they form the product, and alternatively they combine with each other and they again form its a product, right? So these are the, what we can say, formation of the radicals. Formation of the radical will take place, or formation of the product will be takes place. First step is initiation, second one is propagation, and third one is termination, right? Take a screenshot of this one also. But now, uh, after this halogenation of a alkane, that means chlorination, bromination, both are same. Iodination process is a reversible where we are using the strong oxidizing agent like HiO3 and HNO3. And fluorination is not possible beta because the reaction is a highly explosive. But then also in our 12th class syllabus, it will be there some name reaction called as a halogen exchange. One is a Finkelstein and one other one is a Schwarz reaction, right? Where we are able to prepare the alkyl fluorides. But now here some examples I want to show you better in the halogenations way. What is that? See, if we are having CH3, CH2, CH3, and when we are adding the chlorine in presence of sunlight, do you know better? It has a tendency to form the two radical. What is that the radical it can form better? CH2, CH2, CH3 radical where Cl will attack on here, and another case na beta CH3, CH and CH3, this radical Cl will attack here. See beta, this is called as a 2-chloropropane and this is called as a 1-chloropropane. And if you see in every book they wrote the 2-chloropropane is a minor, but 1-chloropropane is a minor, but 2-chloropropane is a major. This is a major product will be there and this one will be minor product. Today I will teach you beta, this percentage is a 45% is given and this one is a 55% is given. How it will come as a 45%, how it will come as a 55%, that finding out the percentage I will explain you in today's class. Listen to me better. In this reaction addition of chlorine will be there. For that one we should know the selectivity ratio. What we should know better? We should know the term called as a selectivity ratio. Listen here, I am going to write here. This ratio called as a selectivity ratio. But for chlorination, bromination, iodination is completely different. Selectivity ratio. Are you able to see? If not, I'll write with the black pen only. See, this ratio will be called as a selectivity ratio. But a selectivity ratio for what? Addition of chlorine. Addition of what? Addition of chlorine. But if tertiary carbon, secondary carbon and primary carbon, listen here, I repeat, if the carbon is a tertiary beta and we are replacing the hydrogen with a chlorine, see, carbon is tertiary, it is bonded with what? Hydrogen, and if you want to break the bond and replace the H with the Cl, the energy required for that tertiary carbon or tertiary hydrogen replacing with the chlorine, the energy required will be taken as a 5. And this one beta secondary become 3.8 and primary become 1. I repeat again. Suppose I am having here tertiary carbon. It is bonded with the hydrogen. I am having secondary carbon. It is bonded with the hydrogen. And I am having beta primary carbon. It is bonded with the hydrogen. I want to replace this hydrogen with a chlorine. So while replacing these hydrogen with a chlorine, the value will be taken as a what? 5. For secondary carbon ka hydrogen replacing with the hydrogen, value will be taken as a what? 3.8. And primary hydrogen, carbon having hydrogen replaced with the chlorine, the value will be taken as a 1. Right? I want to show you this example here. 5 is to 3.8 is to 1 is a selectivity ratio for the chlorine. Now beta, I want to find out the percentage of this compound, right? Just you can see this compound, this chlorine which is attacking on the carbon, carbon will be considered as a primary carbon. You know better. Here, this is a propane. I will show you. This is the CH3. This one is a CH2. And then again this one is a CH3. See beta, if I will ask you what is the type of this carbon, you should say carbon bonded with carbon called as a primary carbon. This is primary carbon and this one is secondary carbon. Beta, in this primary carbon, secondary carbon and tertiary carbon mein, just I will ask you to find out the proportion of 1 degree, how many is there, and what is the proportion of a 2 degree. How to find out? Just listen here. For finding out the proportion of this primary carbon, how many primary carbons are there? Beta, 2 primary carbons are there. How many primary hydrogens are there? See, primary carbon is having how many primary hydrogens? Beta, 3. If I want to replace this hydrogen with a chlorine, the value will be taken as a what? 1. For this one, 1. To total number of primary hydrogens, how many? Beta, 6 are there. So I'll write here proportion for 1 degree. Actually, how many 1 degree hydrogens are there? Count, sir. 1 degree hydrogen is 1. What is the value will be there, beta? Value will be taken as a 1, that is 6. This is the first part. Second part, beta, in this one, are you having secondary carbon? Yes. Secondary carbon is also having what? Hydrogen. So now we should write here as a proportion of secondary hydrogen. How many are there, sir? 2 secondary hydrogens are there. But for each secondary hydrogen, you are replacing with a chlorine. What is the value you should take? 3.8. So I took 3.8. It become a 7.6 is a value. Now I want to find out beta percentage of the primary. For finding out the percentage of primary is equal to, actually how many primary are there, beta? We are having only 6 are there. 6 by total. Total means 6 plus 7.6 beta. 6 plus 7.6 into 100. So solve it beta. 6 by 13.6 into 100. Right? In the same way, get the percentage of secondary compound which is obtained here. This is a secondary. How many beta? 7.6. Total how many, sir? 6 plus 7.6 into beta 100. And once you can see 7.6 by 13.6 into 100. But you can solve it here. 6 by 13.6 into 100. If you solve, we are getting here as a 45%. And by solving this one, I am getting here as a 55%. Means now we can say that this is a chlorine attack on the secondary carbon. Its percentage is 55. Right, beta? Its percentage is 55. And this is a chlorine attack on the primary carbon. So its percentage is a 45. Is it clear, beta? Once again, see this one. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. I will tell you, beta. This is a propane. When we are adding the chlorine in presence of sunlight, there is a possibility that it can form two products. Which one is called as a 1-chloropropane and other will be called as a 2-chloropropane. But among the 1-chloro and 2-chloro, which is a major, everybody knows that secondary carbon will be more stable than primary. So secondary carbon free radical become more stable than primary carbon free radical. So the compound or product obtained by this secondary carbon free radical become more stable and major product, that is 55%, and this one is 45%. So how we know it is only 55 and it is a 45? Why not it is a 60% and it is a 40%? Because this percentage can be determined by these method. And even in the IIT mains with this question they are asking, what is the percentage of the product was obtained? To find out this percentage, beta, what we have to do? We have to go in this way. Selectivity ratio of chlorine, tertiary, secondary, primary. Ratio beta 5 is to 3.8 is to 1. See beta, in this propane may find out first how many primary hydrogens are there. Sir, we are having 3 plus 3, 6 primary hydrogens. So proportion for primary hydrogen. How many primary hydrogens are? 6. Value for primary hydrogen beta 1. So I got 6 is there. Proportion for secondary hydrogen. How many secondary hydrogens we are having, sir? Only 2. So 2 into, see beta, 2 into, what is the value for secondary hydrogen replacing with the chlorine? 3.8. So 2 into 3.8 becomes 7.6. Percentage of the primary product. 6 by total. Total means 6 proportion of primary hydrogen, 7.6 proportion of secondary hydrogen. 6 plus 7.6 into 100. 6 by 13.6 into 100. we got the 45%, means the product for primary, the chlorine which is attacked on primary carbon, the obtained product is only 45%, and the chlorine which is attacked on the secondary carbon, obtained product is remaining, that is a 55%. Is it clear, beta? Once you see this one. Now beta, in this way, chlorinations on the alkane we are able to find the percentage. One example I want to give for you. Please try to get the answer for this one. Instead of using the propane, beta, I will go with the other compound, and please try to find out the percentage of the product obtained here. I will go with the example called as a tertiary butyl, or we can say, sorry beta, it is a CH3 and it is a CH3, and we are adding the chlorine on it. See beta, possibility is there. This carbon is a, I'll show you. See, this carbon is bonded with only one carbon, so it is a primary carbon. So it has a primary hydrogen. It is a carbon bonded with one more carbon called as a primary carbon. So it is a carbon bonded with one more carbon called as a primary carbon. So primary carbons are here, right beta? And this is a carbon bonded with remaining 3 carbon. I should call it as a tertiary carbon. But based on that, I am able to get only 2 products. Which 2 products are? The one, chlorine can attack on either this carbon or this any one. So I will attack the chlorine on this carbon. Remaining is what you know. It is a CH, it is a CH3, it is a CH3. This is the one product was obtained. And but one more. This is a CH3, then C, and then Cl, then CH3, and then CH3. Is it clear? Now I will say beta, this is a minor and this is a major. I will feel, I don't know. Really it is a minor or major, I don't know. So instead of that, can you find out, sir, percentage of this A, and can you find out the percentage of B? Chalo, find out beta, I will wait for this one. Pause the video and get the answer. Beta, now in this one, yes, sir, how to find out the percentage of these things means, here, what I will do, just find out the percentage of this one. We will do the proportion of A beta first. The proportion of primary hydrogens. How many primary hydrogens are there beta? 3, 6 plus 3, 9. 9 primary hydrogens are there. Into hydrogen replaced with the chlorine, value should be 1. So I am getting here as a 9. Second one, so proportion of, because tertiary carbon is there beta. So tertiary hydrogen. How many tertiary hydrogen we have, sir? Only 1. And it should be multiplied with a what? See beta, tertiary hydrogen replacing with the chlorine, value should come as a 5. So that is equal to 5. Now percentage of primary product. Sir, it is a primary product. That means indirectly we are finding the percentage of A. Beta, it is equal to 9 by total 9 plus 5 into beta 100. So percentage of tertiary product. See beta, this is a tertiary product. That is a B. It is equal to 5 by total 9 plus 5 into 100. Beta, if you solve here, it becomes a 5 by 14 and here 9 by 14. So 5 by 14 into 100, that means it goes to nearly 34%. That means it goes nearly to 66%, because 60 plus 30, 90 and 100, 66% here and 34% is here. Once you check it beta. So as we are thinking beta now, key product obtained due to the tertiary product should be a major and product obtained due to the primary become a minor, but it's not like that. It depends upon the selectivity ratio. See beta, this is the selectivity ratio for the chlorination, which says that if you are replacing the tertiary hydrogen with the chlorine, the value will be taken as a 5. And if you are replacing the secondary hydrogen with the chlorine, the value will be taken as a 3.8. And if you are replacing the primary hydrogen with the chlorine, the value will be taken as a 1. So depend on the selectivity ratio, we can say this one. Now we can say instead of coming B is a major beta, our A is a major, that is nearly 66% is a and 34% is a B. Is it clear? Chalo. Once we'll go with one more. Now that is called as a bromination beta. That is a addition of bromine to the halogens. Right? I will take out this one. Otherwise you take a screenshot of this one. But now we will see the selectivity ratio for the bromine called as a bromination. For selectivity ratio for the bromination beta here, if it is a tertiary hydrogen we are replacing, value will be very high, 1600 times. Secondary hydrogen we are replacing with the bromine, value is 80. And primary hydrogen we are replacing with the bromine, the value is 1. So selectivity ratio for bromine is completely different, it's a very high. If we are having the tertiary carbon and having the tertiary hydrogen, and if you want to replace this tertiary hydrogen with a bromine, the value will be 1600 times. And if you are replacing the secondary hydrogen with a bromine, value is 80, and we are replacing the primary hydrogen with a bromine, the value is 1. Means compared to our chlorination and bromination, value for bromination is very high. That means obviously we can say product obtained due to primary radical is a minor and product obtained due to tertiary radical is a major. There we no need to calculate the percentage, directly by seeing this one we can say. But then also we'll try it really that tertiary become a major and primary become a minor or not. We will see one example here. See with the same example. CH3 bonded with M is it is a alkane and we are adding the bromine on it. So there is a possibility beta bromine may attack here and bromine may attack here. So in the first case, let us say bromine will attack here. I got Br, then CH2, then this is a CH and CH3, CH3. But another case where it is a CH3, C, then it is a Br, and these are the two CH3 are there. Attack over here. I will say beta it is a percentage and I will say it is a B percentage. Obviously percentage of B should be more than that of A should come, but we will check it. See sir, proportion of primary hydrogens. How many are there beta? 3, 6 plus 3, 9. Because this carbon will be considered as a primary carbon, and you know primary carbon having hydrogen is a primary hydrogen. Total how many sir? 9. Value for that one is 1. So it is equal to 9. Sir, what is the proportion of tertiary hydrogen now? See beta, proportion of tertiary hydrogen. So this carbon is a tertiary carbon and only one tertiary hydrogen attaches to it. So we can say that is only one tertiary hydrogen, but value is what you know, 1600 times. For tertiary hydrogen is 1600. This one. Sir, percentage of primary means can we say percentage of A beta? That is equal to 9 by total into 100. Percentage of B beta, what is that? 1600 by total and into 100. But if you find out the percentage of this one A, I am getting only nearly somewhere as a 0.1%, but here I am getting it as a 99.9%. How about 1600, but 1600 plus 9 means somewhere it is as a 1600 plus 9, 1609. The value will cancel nearly some 99.9%. Means obviously beta B is a 99.9%, that is a major, and A is a only 0.1%, that is a minor. Means the bromination part, obviously beta product obtained due to tertiary radical become a more stable in bromination, but chlorination not like that. Chlorination, it depends the product how it is obtained, the product from where it is going to obtain. Either it is obtaining from the type of the reactant involved on it. Based on that, it may be primary free radical or the product obtained due to primary carbon or primary hydrogen. It may be major, it may be minor. It depends on the reactant involved on it. So what we can say beta, based on that one term we came, that is addition of fluorine or addition of bromine or addition of iodine in any alkane. It may be selective or it may be beta, it may be more reactive or less reactive. Let me show you beta here. I will show you. We know that fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Just now we saw beta, it is a highly reactive. Fluorine, you know, it is a highly reactive, means it is a less selective. But a selective means what? First it will form the intermediate as a radical, then it will undergo the rearrangement and it forms the stable, what you can say, intermediate, and then attack of the electrophile or nucleophile will take place. So fluorine is not like that. It is a highly reactive. It won't bother, it is going to attack on the primary, or it won't bother, it is going to attack on tertiary. Directly it will reactive. It never be selective. But iodination, what we can say, sir? Iodination, sir, it is a less reactive but more selective. Yes, sir. We saw its value also, beta. See why it is more selective, no? Iodination mein value is given as a primary, secondary, tertiary. Hydrogen replacing with the iodine. Sorry, beta. Bromination. I am talking about bromination. Iodine. Bromination is a less reactive and more selective. Why, beta? Because if you compare the value of primary hydrogen, secondary hydrogen and tertiary hydrogen with the bromine, the value is given as a 1:80:1600 time. But a tertiary hydrogen ka, one of the tertiary hydrogen, suppose you are replacing with any bromine, the selectivity or the proportion or the percentage to obtain the product will be 1600 times more than the secondary than the primary. So we can say fluorination is highly reactive but less selective. Bromination is a less reactive but more selective, and this selectivity ratio we are getting from here. What about the chlorine, beta? Yes, we can say chlorine, and here even we will see iodine now, beta. Iodine also more selective. Iodine also, if you see, so it is also a more selective. But you know, iodination we won't perform because the reaction is a reversible, and to make the reaction only on the forward direction, we have to use oxidizing agent like a HiO3 and HNO3. Same way, beta, chlorination. Yes, we can say it is also a selective, but not that selective. How the selectivity can be shown by the bromine and the iodine. Is it clear? So this is, we can say, the fluorine is a more reactive, less selective. More reactive, but highly reactive and less selective. That means in this case, beta, it will be primary will be more than secondary will be more than tertiary for fluorination scale, right? But bromination and iodination, if you want to talk these two, beta, bromination and iodination, if you want to talk, we can say tertiary product will be major than secondary than primary. It is for the bromination and iodination. But chlorination, it depends. It depends means how the structure is there. Just now we saw one structure, beta, previous example, where we will feel that chlorine attack on the tertiary carbon should be major and chlorine attack on primary carbon will be minor. But it doesn't, because it is depend on the reactant involved on it, and we are getting the product. So these two we can say, fluorine and bromine iodine. Fluorine less selective, means primary become major, tertiary become minor. But bromine and iodine, beta, always tertiary become major and primary become minor. But chlorination, possibility, beta, primary may be major, primary may be minor. It depends on the reactant involved on it. Is it clear, beta? Chalo, take a screenshot of this one also. So beta, in previous video we have seen the halogenation of alkane, where we saw the chlorination, and in today's video we saw, beta, that is the addition, that is the iodination as well as the bromination. And in today's video we have seen selectivity ratio for the chlorination and selectivity ratio for the iodination. So at last what we learned that कि fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, actually it is the order of reactivity of halogens toward the alkane. But fluorine As it is a highly reactive, it is a less selective. That means the primary product will be major and tertiary become minor. But when we are adding the bromine and iodine, what will happen, sir? They are the less reactive but more selective. More selective means the tertiary product will be major and primary will be a minor. Right? Even we have seen the selectivity ratio for bromine and selectivity ratio for chlorine. Chlorine की value बेटा 5:3.8:1. But iodination, bromination की value is what? 1600 times, then 80 and then 1. So based on that we are able to find out the obtained product is a major or it is a minor. Right beta? Now what we will do, today I want to stop my class up to here only. In my next video beta, I will discuss with you the allylic substitution. That is, we are under the heading of free radical substitutions only. That is a free radical substitution, types of the free radical substitution, where we have seen completely halogenation of the alkane. Now in my next video, we will go with the allylic substitutions. Means what is the allyl group, what is the allylic carbon, and how the hydrogen on the allylic carbon can be replaced by the halogen, and for its replacing, what the reagents we are using. Maybe somewhere you have seen that NBS, N-bromosuccinamide, we can say SO2Cl2 beta. If we add the SO2Cl2, that means the allylic hydrogen will be replaced by the halogen. If we add the NBS, N-bromosuccinamide, so what will happen, allylic hydrogen will be replaced by the bromine. And if the temperature is somewhat high, nearly 400 to 600 degrees centigrade, temperature is high and we are adding the halogen on it, so what will happen, allylic carbon having the hydrogen was replaced by the halogen. So that will be called as a allylic substitution. That part we will see in our next class, right? Just I want to stop my video here, and in my next video I want to upload for the allylic substitutions part. Thank you beta, thank you very much. If you like my work, if you like my video, please beta like it, share it and subscribe it, and if possible please try to share this video for maximum number of students, those really who need these videos or those really need the help in reaction mechanism. Thank you beta, thank you very much. Have a great day, take care, bye.